All right. All right, so we're just keep writing it down. I'm just going to introduce it. We're getting ready for the Unit 1 test. Whoops. Math 1, Unit 1 test. And this is a really good practice problem that breaks down when that exponent is going to be a whole number versus a fraction. Okay? A whole number versus a fraction. So we're doing this problem where it's going to be, okay, you start with a $1,000 investment. It grows at 3%. And this part's where this is a little bit different of a problem. Because the first one I'm going to do is going to be part A. That's going to, or problem A. That's going to be start with 1,000, grows at 3% every 3 months. Then we're going to do it for problem B, which is starts at 1,000, grows at 3% every half month. Okay? So this is going to be able to show between A and B how we're going to access this formula and how the exponent is going to be different. Okay, that's the key thing here. Now, before we get to the difference between A and B, the rest of it's going to look pretty much the same. So remember that our initial amount is our A value, 1,000. 1 plus, because we're growing, it's going to be a plus. I think everyone has these first parts down. It's just that exponent, right? It's just the exponent, yeah. So the rate we're going to put in as a decimal, that 0.03. So 3%, percent is per 100. So 3 cents, 3 hundredths. So percent and cents are related. They have that same root of cent. That's 100. So 3%, it's going to be 1 plus R, which is 3%. So we have 1,000, 1 plus 0.03 to the box. We leave it as a box because we're going to figure that part out next. Everyone okay with how I inputted that? Everyone okay? Yeah? Okay. So next, I just simplified. I got down to this step, and then actually that's where we're going to move from. Okay, next. This is where A and B are going to look different. Okay, so I want you just below this, for A, make a graph. For B, make a graph, because we're going to ask our key question of do we have full growth or decay, if it was a decay problem, at, in this case, 1 month, at 1 month. I know it's month because they gave us those units up here. Months, 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 months. Okay, so we're going to really be focusing. I can move it down. Put it like that. There we go. We're going to really be focusing on what is happening at 1 month. What is happening at 1 month? Okay, so let's see. I make my graphs. Oh, wait, 1 sec. Don't look. I want to write this over. Don't look. Oh. Don't look. All right, now you can look. All right. So I wrote my graphs. I put 1, that's my key. That's my key month I'm looking at, 1 unit, whatever units it is. If it was years, I would look at 1 year. Okay, so I'm looking at 1. I'll let Kaylee in here. Let me see if Kaylee's in my class. All right, a little late. Nah, Kaylee, you're in the wrong class. All right, so here we go. Now, my question is, what do I have? Let's look for A. Because A is saying it grows every 3 months. Every 3 months it's going to have this growth. So my question is, at 1 month, do we have our full growth? If it takes 3 months, every 3 months, so let's not look at this right now. We're doing A first, which has a different time distinction and increment. Grows at 3% every 3 months. After 3 months, I'll get the 3% growth. So after 1 month, do we have the full growth, or we have a fraction of the growth? we have a fraction. No, not yet. After 2 months, do we have the full growth? Not yet. After 3 months? Yes. After 3 months, we get our full growth. No, no, yes. Because at 1 month, which is our key question, because at 1 month we had a partial, a fraction of the time needed to get a full growth, because it was a fraction, right? Oh, look at this. Oh, beautiful. Then we're going to end up with a fraction as the exponent. So because it was every 3 months, 1 month didn't do it, 2 didn't do it, 3, that finally did it. So it took 1 month was only at 1/3 of the time needed, x over 3. All right, and next we're going to look at part B. So now we're looking at part B. Now it grows, $1,000 grows at 3% every half month. So what that means is you're going to get that 3% growth by the time a half of a month has passed. So when I look at this and ask the question, and I want everybody to answer this time, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. At 1 month, if it grows 3% every half month, at 1 month, have we had exactly 3% growth? More or less? So more, exactly, less. More, exactly, less. At 1 month, if we're getting 3% growth every half of a month, are we going to have more than 3% by 1 month? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So watch. I put 1/2 here, right? 1/2. By 1/2, I already had the full growth, the 3%. By the time, because it takes half to get us 3%, another half, I'll have another 3%. So it's all in relation to 1. Now look at this. Over here, when we got to 1, we had 1/3 of the time needed. 1/3. Now we look, and by the time we got to unit 1, 1 month, we had 2 growths. We didn't have a fraction. We didn't have a portion like over here, a fraction of the total time. We didn't have a fraction like over here. We had 2 full growths. Hence, my answer is, whoops, y is equal to 1,000, our initial. Here's our multiplier, 2x. Because if I look at this, the exponent is really saying what portion, or based on the information, well, remember that this is time. This is time. So if you think about this as time, at 1 month, right? At 1 month, we've already had 2 growths. So if I plug in 1 right here, so my time will end up being 2, and if I plug in 1 right here, it's going to show that I had 2 growths already. Look over here. If I plug in 1 month right here, that's saying I had 1/3 of the time needed to get the growth. Okay, so these are the main differences. You'll end up with these aren't graphs. This isn't like the graph. The graph is going to be, well, I guess with this, it's going to be, 1,000, and it's gonna go up like this, right? So that's the actual graph. Whoops. Those are the about what the graph would look like. Okay, these little bumps I do are just saying, well, I could just make the line here. Does this time give us, at 1 month, do we have the full growth? No. At 2, no. It takes us all the way to 3. So 1 month gave us 1/3 of the growth. That's why it's x over 3. Here, 1 month already had 2 growths. That's why it's 2x. I think that's pretty straightforward. What do you think? That help a little bit? You're still copying down. Too early. Okay. All right. I just copied that down. I'm guessing that's what's happening. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop that action. I'll stop this video because 10 minutes is a nice review time.